Hey guys. Let me see. You guys see me? Totally unannounced live stream. Oh. Basically trying out a setup of live streaming with a proper camera in the studio instead of using the webcam. Don't know who's gonna see this or not. Quality is pretty bad. I can see myself in full HD, but I'm streaming through my phone. So I don't know if you guys can see me or hear me. Whoever gets here. Okay, Danielle says, I see you. Okay, well, I haven't been live for a very long time. I've been trying to set up different things in the studio. Doesn't look too bad, that's good. Daniel, thank you. I've been trying to set up a bunch of stuff in the studio. There's been changes, there's been videos that are getting prepared. There's a lot of new things coming for the next, school year, basically. So let's say I'll start with some newer content and different content in September. But first thing is I want to do at least one live stream a month. So I'll be here. Hi to see you. And M. Sudo says, yeah, a bit blurry, but the infos you give are on point, though. Thank you. So yeah, this is going to be the live stream. I'm going to try to get proper internet here. I said it on Patreon that whenever I reach the certain threshold, I would go live in the studio, and I've been trying to organize. So yeah, it's been way too long for this. But there's a lot of things I want to show you guys. I've got something new here. You see a digital camera and something under a little microfiber cloth and whatnot. But I just want to come here, see you here, guys. I missed being live, but life and kids and family have been complicated. But today I wanted to show you, I've got this little macro set up here, and the people from Negative Supply sent me the little Negative Supply device, which you can see here. Focus is going to be on my hand, so supposedly you could see this here. I'm going to grab it with my hands. This is the little Negative Supply device. I'm going to be making a video pretty quickly because I'm going on holidays for a couple weeks in like 3 days. But it's pretty cool. I have to say I was not the biggest fan of something like this. I didn't see much of the point. But having had it for a couple of days, we're going to jump onto the computer a little later, but having had it for a couple of days, I have to say it's a really cool device. I know it doesn't do much, but hold your negatives. It doesn't scan for you. It doesn't do any miracles in color or anything like that. But what it does well, which is hold your negatives in a dark little window for you to digitize, like everyone says, with a digital camera. And yes, I do own a digital camera now. I got it because I'm working on a new website and a bunch of content with film cameras, just like this Mamiya. Well, actually, the first camera I worked on is the Campbell Wide. You saw that video. There's more about that coming out on a website very soon. I'm going to do articles on the website with the Mamiya, and I got the digital camera to do product photography for that. So I have a Canon 5D Mark II, which is more than enough for me. I have a 100mm lens here, and I have this Negative Supply little film holder here. I have to say the quality is really nice. I really enjoy it. You can see that you can feed the film in and out. Scanning with this, and I quote unquote, scanning with this is actually really fun. Yesterday, a friend that brought me the stand and everything, because I don't have the stand or the light table or anything like that. We scanned with his Nikon D800 a roll of 35, and it was impressive how quick you can go through it. You just shoot, and you go 36. I'm not cutting my film anymore, and I'll show you that because it's behind there. There's another surprise after. I'm not cutting my film anymore, and I used to cut it to strips of 6 and then take it to the enlarger scanner, scan with an Epson and whatnot. And I don't like scanning. I've said it many times on this channel. I'm not a big fan of scanning. It's so boring and so slow and so cumbersome. I'd rather be in the printer, in the enlarger, in the darkroom, printing black and white, printing color, whatever it is. But I've been scanning more for the YouTube channel, for the photo walks and all that. And using this little device has been really fun. And I want to jump to Lightroom and show you a little later. And How's asking, is this setup only available for 35? Yeah, for now, they're only doing the 35. And as you can see, the film gate is bigger. So you can do, I'm doing half frame here, and I'll show you later. But this can also do X-span. So that's the good thing. You can do X-span, half frame, and full frame here with the black border. If you guys go to my Instagram, I posted one picture that I did yesterday, but I forgot to export it at low res, so it's 1.6 megs, so it's really low resolution. But I'll show you a little bit how it looks on the screen here. I've learned how to do the screen share thing, but I wanted to show you this. I really like it. I'm making a video. I think it's really fun, but this would not be fun if it wasn't for the Negative Lab Pro version 2, which Nate gave me a license to test it out, and that is so fast. Marco, hi Marco. You think it's possible to 3D print something like this? This one, I would 100% say is 3D printed. It's the quality 3D printing. It reminds me of the Panomicron from Oscar. It's heavy. It has screws that put it together. You can see a little bolt here and the screw here. It has rubber feet that hold it together. This is for their stand, which has like a magnet, so it holds on. But you don't need the stand. This here works perfectly fine. It does wobble a little bit, and I wish it was a little smaller because from the first frame, you kind of have to feed with your hand. It doesn't get the wheel. The wheel is at the end. So this is towards the end. You feed it through here. So I told them I would love to see it a little shorter, but I do know that the wave it does, and inside, and you'll see that in my review, it does a wave. So it comes in through here, and then it goes up, and then it goes down. So that wave makes the film be flat. Is it 100% flat? No. I will show you in Lightroom. There's a slight curve, especially to the bottom of the frame or the last part of the frame, but it's nothing to say that it's not in focus. If you stop down your lens to f8 or f5.6, you're fine on macro. And then you can't do short rolls. So like this is a piece of film that is long, as you can see here. But if you have like a 2-3 frames, you can't do that. You want to do uncut rolls. That's the best thing because you have a whole roll. You just go shoot, 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 put it on Lightroom, use the Negative Lab Pro and convert it to positive. You're doing negatives. So that works really well. Basically, I think it's really fun. I've been using, and what I was telling you guys, let me show you. You can see these are negatives I've been developing this last couple of days. These are color negatives. I've been shooting a lot of color negatives, and I've been having a lot of fun. And that is because of what's behind me, which you can't really see it, but that is a Frontier scanner. I've upgraded my scanning system to a Frontier, and this is a Frontier negative mask for 6x6. I can now scan at pretty much lab quality 6x6, 645, 6x7, 6x9, 35. And it's behind me, so I can't show you. Look. That is my new scanner. I got a great deal on it. So that's what I've been scanning on. And it's pretty darn nice. It's a Frontier SP2500. A couple of shots on my Instagram have been with that scanner, and it's been a blessing. It scans really fast. It scans with great color. Excuse me. It's been scanning expired film and so well. And now I don't cut my film because that goes in there, and frame by frame, I can scan 35 in a moment. It is a little slower than I expected. It's not the SP3000, it's the SP2500. It doesn't have digital ice, so you have to remove dust and all that. But I'm getting one of those Kinetronics dust little, brush, and I'm getting the gloves and all that very soon. But this matched with a digital camera, and this is a Mark 5D Mark II, whatever. I don't know how many megabytes or megapixels it has. I'm not one of those guys with digital, but that imported into Lightroom and converted looks just as good as this. So it's going to be really, really fun to use. I kind of wish I could keep it. It's a bummer it doesn't do 120. I would have loved to have it a little bulkier and have modules that would fit like a window for 6x6 or a window for 6x7 or a window for 6x9, and then like the wheels and such. But I understand that there's going to be one device, then another device, and then another device. The whole setup for digitizing is way more expensive than what I paid for that. So that's off the, idea. House says, oh, this setup would be great with Super 8 and 16 mil. Save the time and cost a lot than doing it at a lab. Actually, something like this, like a digital camera with Super 8 and 16, you could feed it through and go frame by frame, shooting, and then probably edit on video. It can't be fun because you got to crop frame by frame, or be really good at cropping and then copy the crops. I'm not good at editing, but I want to show you how quickly this thing works. And I'm going to go from this image to my Lightroom or whatever it is. I got Lightroom CC because I've never used that. So let me show you how this works. So I'm going to go here, and you guys are now seeing my Lightroom screen, which let me go and open it. These, you can't see my face, so I don't know why I'm looking at camera, but this is a negative done with a point and shoot, really cheap point and shoot I got from camerastore.com. Awesome, guys. Shipping's in 10 euros, shipping next day in Europe, 20 euros for like 2 days the rest of the world, which is impressive. So this is a negative, not cropped at all, anything like that. So you just press Control N. It opens this Negative Lab Pro, which is going crazy. I don't know why. Wow, that's terrible. Huh, funny. This is how it looks when I convert it. This is a previous one. I don't know why that other one looked terrible. So here, I guess you do Control N, standard. I don't know why it's doing all those colors. Funny, I go live and it doesn't work. Well, here it is. And you can see that if I go backwards and remove, that's how it looks. But these are impressive. This color really looks really nicely out of camera. This is done with the DSA 800, and this is point and shoot Kodak Gold, so nothing crazy. Let me hide this. Oh wait, now are you guys seeing that? Or are you not? I don't know if you can see my mouse, but yeah, this is impressive. Like I was doing some shots, and this is a post that I posted on a WhatsApp group for the Patreons. And this shot I posted on Instagram. And this is haze and whatnot. And this is done with the Negative Lab. And you can zoom in. And my computer's pretty slow, especially because I'm live streaming. I'm showing you through a pen drive and whatnot. But whenever it decides to think, you can see like the film grain. It's pretty impressive. And the color corrections are so nice. But let me get out of here now. You guys don't want to see Lightroom all the time. Let me go to Google Chrome. Stop. Are we back to the normal camera? Yeah. So yeah, that stuff. Oh, you have to. It looks terrible because you have to do the white balance of the borders first. I've been doing it without cutting the borders, and it's been doing conversions fine. But I've been doing that there. But it's been working fine without cutting them down. So you can specifically on Negative Lab Pro say how much of the border you want to take away. So a percentage of how much you want to crop. So it will only analyze the center of the frame, which is really nice. But I want to say this thing, it's $279 right now, just this module like this. And if you already have a digital camera and you have, the repro or tripod, you can point down a light source, it's worth it. If you have to buy everything, I don't know if it's worth it. For $35, the Epsons are terrible. They're always been terrible. And I don't know anyone that has good results with Epson. If you do, you're a wizard. Come over and let me know. But for 120, I've had okay terms. And using the Frontier scanner with 35 and 120 has been working great. But this and this and this little toy has been so fun. I've been scanning a couple. I'm going to scan more, make a video and compare it. I'll show you all. So if you have any questions, send them to me through email or comments on this video. Marco says, I'll send you my 120 module. Marco has one. He says he did for very cheaply, which will be fine. Nai says, I have great results with my V850 and 35 mil. I don't have great results, but I respect those that do. Plus Tech 8200 for 135. I was using a Nikon Coolscan 5000 for 35 and it was looking fine. But my worst case was color correction. Like color correction, and I know that you can use a Negative Lab Pro with scans from your flatbed or your scanner and then convert them there. So that's great. but having this and just kind of like shooting and doing it has been really nice. I do have a Sony A7 something somewhere there, but the macro didn't want to crop into the frame as much. So I set up the Canon and the 100 and it worked fine. And I did the small frame too, which you can see. Let me show you half frame. Let's see how I can do this again. I want to show you the half frame. So screen share, application, boop, and share. And now let me go here. So this here is half frame. Whoop. Can you guys see it? So this is a half frame Portra 160 in Miami, I think last November. And you can see, and this I shot, I don't even know if I focused properly, but you can see a cigarette butt there. Colors look pretty good. And I love the fact that you can keep the border on half frame especially. You can even see that it got scratched, I guess, in the camera. Or maybe in my, yeah, this is probably in camera scratch, which kind of is not very fun. But you can see the scratches, you can see the grain. I don't know, you can see those on YouTube and the compression. There's a couple damages to the negative. There's a little hair here. But yeah, half frame looks good. And I did 3 different shots. Some of these were not very well corrected because I underexposed and it went a little crazy. But this one's the one that looked the best exposure-wise. So yeah, that's how it goes with that. Let me go back to stop screen sharing. So that's been sort of what I've been doing. Let me open this with the comments. Tix says, you could also use the film holders from a flatbed scanner instead of the new device. A bit slower, but a lot cheaper. Yeah, I do know that it's not cheap. Don't get me wrong. This is not cheap. I just thought it was very fast, and I like that. You can use, I had like an Omega enlarger film holder that you could advance with a little wheel. That was really fun and easy, but you can't do expand. You can't do the borders unless you file them. You can use the lomography, digitize, whatever they call that everyone's buying now. I'm not saying this is cheap. I'm not saying this is perfect. I'm saying that I've tried it and I think it's really fun. Would I pay $279 or whatever it is at Kickstarter right now? Having the Frontier, I would not. But I have to say, I'm really intrigued to see when they come out with maybe the Mark II and maybe it accepts 120 and 35, something like that. Then I've also gotten something from 20th Century Camera, which is a little 3D reel for Patterson tanks to do 4x5, and it's being pretty cool. I will be testing it out and showing you guys how it works. It emits 6 sheets on a Patterson tank, so it's kind of like the Mod 54, but you know, another device. I'm curious to see how it works, so I'll show you that. That I wanted to show you. And then, well, Film Wasteland says, well, I'm only shooting black and white, so the color correction does not bother me. Yeah, I wasn't shooting much color, as you guys know, until I got the scanner. And then I put a roll of old color film I had, and it just looked great. I scanned it, and it looked great. I'm trying to look because I have a point and shoot now I wanted to share with you guys, but I don't have it with me. Those shots that you saw were done on the Olympus AF10 Super, which I got to give away at Patreon, and it's really fun. And then I've gotten something else, which is going to be happening on the channel very soon, and I have it here to the side because it's way too big to be in the frame. As you can see, I've gotten some really big paper. This is a 108 centimeters, or in inches is, it doesn't say, 108, maybe like 40 inches by 10 meters. So this is going to be for a special video I'm making and I'm working on right now. And I'm really excited to show you. I won't be able to do it before I go on holidays, but you can see it's FOMA paper. You probably can't see the tag, but you can probably read FOMA on the paper here. It's 10 meters, and I'm going to be printing a picture pretty big. So I'm really excited to try this. I wanted to share with you guys. I'm too excited to not share. But for those who are curious, it'll be black and white. It's RC paper, resin coated, because fiber-based paper in this size is just crazy expensive and crazy complicated to work with. Yeah, I'm really excited to show you. So if you guys want to see behind the scenes, those will be on probably Patreon and such, so that you guys can see what I'm working on. The whole Discord there has been really fun. We've been commenting on this. I've been getting little snippets of what I want to do. But you've seen a couple of hints of what it's going to be like. It's going to be, you know, in my darkroom, no special devices, printing huge. So I'm very excited for that. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions, remember these live streams were mostly to answer questions. So if you had any special questions, requests, I'd be happy to answer. I've also been shooting a shot today, a shot on my 545 Polaroid holder. And this film is no longer available unless you buy the new 55, which they're still producing. And I have some old Polaroid film, so I've been shooting portraits of friends that come by the studio. It's having some awkward like light leaks and little stardust, like someone said. Looks like pixie dust on it, but I'm using it. It's getting really old. I have this one, and I have this one too. These two I shot in the last week, so I'm really excited about them. Damn, it's so pixeled. I hope you guys can see something. I should record this properly and show you. But yeah, they look pretty awesome. There's one of them's on Instagram. The other one I will put on Instagram later down the road. I don't know if you guys can see anything. It looks terrible. I need to get a proper connection. Marco, actually, we're going live stream through my proper video camera. Thanks to Marco from Analog Things that helped me buy a little Cam Link, little HDMI adapter. But I guess the connection is really bad, so you can't see much of anything. But yeah, any questions, guys? There's 32 people, 28 people watching, around 30 people watching. But yeah, I'm going on holidays now. I'm going to be taking probably an M2, and I have the 7 Artisans 28 1.4, which I'm curious to try it out. I'll probably be taking out my Sekonic Digi Pro F2, which I'm working on a review about it too. I've had it for like a year, give or take, after Photokina, a little less than a year. And it's really fun. It's very similar to the Sekonic 308, but it does have a little swivel head, which you can meter and read from the other side. You can take it off if you want to do reflected. And the good thing of what I love about this one that I find a little better than the Sekonic, even though the Sekonic is really good, the 308, is you just press the button and it already metered. So there's no on, off. You just press it and it meters immediately. So if you have it on your back pocket, like I always walk around my light meter. I don't use the straps. I don't like the straps unless I'm assisting. If I'm using a photo assistant, I do use it like that. But you pull it out of your pocket, you click it, meters, and you're ready. So that's been really comfortable to use. I really like it. Gaussen sent it to me after Photokina. He offered to send me a light meter, and I asked for this one. Actually, I asked for a cheaper one, and he offered me to send me this one, and then I said yes. So I'll be doing a review on it. But it has a bunch of stuff, way more than I need. Flash, you know, ambient light, reflected light, and then it has like cinema mode and whatnot. Way so much information, way more than I need. But yeah, you guys don't have any questions. It's been like a year since I go live. I guess all the super film support. The super film support videos have been coming slowly. I know some of them are very basic, which I don't mean to make very basic videos, but I think we have to answer all those kinds of videos and questions, not just the complicated ones. Some of them are extremely complicated, and it's going to require me a lot of preparation to make a proper video, not just a sit down and answer video. So I'm not leaving them, you know, I'm not forgetting about those requests and questions, but I'm working on them slowly. Some of them require other people assisting me. So I'm asking some people in the industry to help me with those questions. But yeah, I'm very excited to start that new, you know, series and longer series. Like I said, in September, there'll be more coming. I'll be doing the photo walks again. I'll be doing the darkroom videos again. All that is coming back in September. But yeah, guys, it's Sunday. I know everyone's probably not wanting to go live, but if you have any questions, let me know. Apart from that, I've been testing to the Mamiya RZ67. I've made my I got my hands on the 90 3.5. I'm going to compare it to the 110 and the 127. I'm going to be doing reviews on those lenses and comparing them. I'm going to be getting my hands on a Pro 2 and compare it against the normal one. So we'll have a Mamiya RZ normal against the Pro 2 and maybe a normal Pro. So if you're requesting or curious about Mamiya questions, that also it's a good time to ask. The buying guides for the Mamiya and the Hasselblad have been doing really well, which I'm really happy. But I want to do a little more. I want to do it about cameras I do know about and just not read about them before and then just that's it. So it's cameras I've used before. So I'll be doing maybe a buying guide for Leica cameras, which I have a couple, and maybe a few other cameras that I own, large format, maybe something easy for people to follow. Because large format is getting, there's a lot of cameras and a lot of interest, especially with Intrepid and other brands that are coming with entry-level cameras at cheaper prices. But yeah, guys, any other questions or doubts? Because I don't know if the chat's died. If someone's on the chat, can you at least say something? I can't read anything on the chat. It's stayed there for a while. If you guys can answer a question or something, I'll know if it works. It looks like it's frozen. Last comment was from Film Wasteland. And I don't know if there's any other comments. Oh, now I said something. Okay, you're still there. You guys can write. It's just nobody's writing. But yeah, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be interesting summer, as I told you, back to school. And I'll be sending the prints to a lot of people. I want to work on that through August. I have a lot of older prints that I've never shown that I'll be sending to backers and Patreons and such. So those things are finally going to be coming. Photographer's bag. Any experience of Pentax 6x7? I do have experience with the Pentax 6x7. I don't know if I have one under here. I have a couple of them. I have a box full of Pentax 6x7 stuff. I quite like them. I have the Pentax 6x7 II. I've had the Pentax 6x7 normal, Pentax 6x7 MLU, and I've been wanting to get myself a Pentax 6x7 non-MLU. They're good cameras. They're big, bulky 35 cameras. You have to have a steady hand to shoot them. And the 105 is overrated, in my opinion. There's a lot of good lenses in the system. The 150 2.8 is great. The 165 2.8 is great. The 135 macro is stunning. We just scanned a couple of those, and it's really good. So yeah, and the 75 2.8, worth the money? No, but it's really good. I had one that I bought cheaply, and I sold cheaply, and I regretted that. Adam says, is Deerdorf worth the money? That's a complicated question. I've seen Deerdorfs, and I'm going to talk about 8x10s. They used to sell for $1,000. There used to be beaters for $1,000, $1,200. Then there was the minty ones for $1,500 and such, and they were so worth it for that money. Nowadays, they're a little bit more, and some people are refurbishing them. Cat Labs told me that through August, they're going to have a couple of them fully refurbished, like new. So it's looking really good for that. Is it worth it? You're buying a legacy camera. Like, it's such a great camera. It has such a history. They're bulky, heavy, but they're good. Is it worth it? Depends on how much money you're going to pay. I have a Chamonix 8x10, which is actually just behind here, and it's awesome. They sell for around $3,400. Is it worth it? It's a one buy. Like, you buy one camera like that, and you don't have to buy any more. Are there better or worse cameras? They are. The Philips is a great camera, but you can't find them. The Can-Am, a great camera. Some people don't like them so much. Can-Am has, instead of knobs, like these little round knobs, Can-Am cameras have like straight knobs, so you have to kind of twist and turn. It can be more complicated or easier depending on your hands. If you have older hands and you've got arthritis or something like that, which a lot of large format photographers nowadays do have because of age, it can help. But Deerdorf cameras are awesome. I've always wanted one just because they kind of are like, the camera in large format. But I have no reason to own one. I have way too many large format cameras. Thanks what you do. Thank you, Mac F. Stop. Really appreciate a video on the Frontier. I will be making a video on the Frontier, and I'm really new at it. I'm not really very keen or confident in what I'm doing yet. I am scanning slowly, but I want to change more settings, and I don't know how to do it. So I'm trying to get hold. There's like a group of Frontier users that seems to be hard to get into. So I'm trying to get into that. But I will be doing that. I've been learning how to work out that and the exporting, because you have to have a second computer that you tell it that's the printer, and it sends it to a printer, and then the printer does it in BMP files, which are not TIFF or JPEG. So then you have to convert them, because I want to import them to Lightroom and take off the dust. And I'll be making a video on the Frontier, but I want to get a little more confident. Maybe I'll do like an introduction to my Frontier and how little I know video. And maybe people in the comments can help me out. But I'm very excited about that one, that's for sure. Arturo says, I'm looking for your experience with the long size foam paper. Is it something I have in mind for the future to reduce cost? I'm very excited to try the foam paper. I did buy a box of a smaller paper, around 8 by 10, a little shorter, I think 7.5 by 9 or 7 by 9.5. It's 18 by 24 centimeters, because I want to make the prints small and, you know, do my dodge and burning at small contrast and whatnot. And then when I take it to the bigger paper, I can print a strip and try to make that strip look pretty much as close as the smaller print, and then just, you know, translate it to a huge print. So that's going to be my approach. But we'll see. Very excited to try that out. M. Sulo says, do you have any information on the Ektachrome on 120? I've read coding tests have been starting in July. M. Sulo, from what I've heard from the industry, and I can't say exactly if it's 100% for sure, is they're already working on coding on 120 Ektachrome and Tmax 3200 in 120. So I'm getting a glimpse that they're going to be coming very, very soon. I hope they can make the 120 in Ektachrome before summer ends, because it's a great film for summer. But at the same time, slide film does great with lower contrast, because, you know, it can hold the exposure much better when there's lower contrast scene and bring a bit punch and color. If you have a lot of, you know, contrast, slide film is really hard, because the highlights tend to blow out, or the shadows tend to just die. So I'm really expecting that very soon. I bet before the end of 2019, we'll see it in 120. And the Tmax 3200, I guess they don't want to bring them out both at the same time, because that would, you know, cannibalize one sales and one not. Even though they're totally different films, my guess is if someone has extra spending money in Ektachrome and 120 comes, you buy 10 rolls, which they're not going to be cheap. Spend $150, imagine, on the film. Then if they come out with Tmax 3200, you're going to be like, oh, I don't have any more spending money. You know, I buy my normal film. This is special film. So they probably will come at different times, maybe 3-4 months apart. So that's all I know for now. But I do know they're working on the test. It's looking really good. They were really blown up with the interest in the Ektachrome in 135. So hopefully 120 will fly off the shelves, and they'll be really happy with that. That's what we need to do, is buy a lot of film and use a lot of film. Rafael Santos says, hello, Nico. Have you ever used or seen a vacuum film holder? I have not seen or used one, but I've heard they're great. I don't think they're very easy to find nowadays. I do know Contacts had a 645 vacuum holder, because they couldn't ensure focus of the 80 f2 lens, which says it on the instructions that they don't guarantee focus at f2. So all those wedding shooters shooting at f2, they're kind of like crossing their fingers when they're focusing and shooting. Even film little, you know, not being flat will not help. That's why the vacuum. I've seen them in large format, not myself, but I've seen them online. I guess they work fine, but they're very specialized. Alan Huntley says, hi, Nico. Someday I'd like to see you do a video or two on working with the 11x14 camera. That's something that's coming. I have a full video recorded, basically B-roll of a whole shoot with the 11x14. I spent 2 whole days shooting a project with the 11x14. I have prints of it. I have the negatives, which I'm going to send to Carmencita Film Lab to scan, because they have like a Fuji humongous, I don't know, fine pick something scan mate. I don't know what it's called. Scanner that can do 11x14. So I want to scan them big and good. And I want to have them maybe retouch the dust or whatever and share that in a video. So that's been coming. This is something I've been struggling with, and I don't know how to express it, but I've been shooting YouTube videos and behind the scenes of stuff, way more content than you guys are seeing. The problem is the videos make no sense half the time. So I've either started shooting and never finished, or started shooting and developed later down the road and they were like out of sync. And those things I'm going to bring into a video. And to put an example, it's going to be sort of like what George is doing with negative feedback, you know, like me standing head talking about what I did, showing the B-roll, showing the images, and showing what I think about them. So it's going to be like a story sort of thing. And it's going to be about, for example, let me think about it. I have an 8x10 video shooting architecture. I have an 11x14 video shooting portraits of surfing people in a town nearby. I have 6x7 Pentax with a 110 millimeter Hasselblad lens adapted shooting in Miami. I have Ektachrome 100 shooting in Miami. I have like 10 or 12 videos that I've worked on. I've done like 99% of it, and I'm missing the 1%, which is the talking head introduction, outro, and all that. So that's going to be coming. And I will make a video. My 11x14 is actually just up there. You guys can't see my hand. Can you see my hand? Up there. So I'll be doing that very soon. And I'm very excited. I've been wanting to make a video on shooting with the 11x14, making prints in the darkroom, putting on sale, and trying to reach enough money on the print sales to buy a new box of film, because the film is really expensive and it's not easy to buy because it's $200 a time, so it's hard to purchase basically. MacF Stop says, awesome to hear Frontier video. Thank you, sir. I'm very excited about the Frontier. I'm really excited to share you guys the results and how it looks. I'm still going to be sending some of my film to Carmencita because this does amazing results, but also I want to share what work they do. I was there for a couple of days, a couple of months ago, and I was really impressed at what the lab did. And they do so much more than I can do myself. So I'm going to be sending some film to them to scan. Okay, MSUO says, Who Tech Astronomical Products makes a vacuum holder for the 6x7. That sounds just astronomically expensive too. Mac F Stop says, I've discovered one of the most frustrating parts of shooting 120 film is how best, easiest way to digitize the negatives. So grateful for your evaluations of different methods. Yeah, I really did not like shooting film when I was scanning. I have to admit, I was shooting less and less. I was shooting mostly for the darkroom. And I have to say that first getting this really helped. And now the whole digital camera and the Negative Film Lab Pro is really fun too. And quote, fun, because I'd rather be shooting or printing in the darkroom than scanning, that's for sure. But I love sharing on Instagram, and I love sharing with family because I shoot mostly family shots. And I love sharing with friends. And I love sharing on YouTube. So basically all the scanning rig is for YouTube. Like this is going to be 90% YouTube content. So expect, yeah, there's a lot of reviews coming. There are going to be a lot of fun, different film stocks, different lenses, different ways to digitize, different film stocks, lenses compared, cameras compared, systems compared. Today I was talking about making a video on some high steeked cameras, which I will be doing soon. So a lot of stuff is coming. I'm just trying to get my head around it all. Let me see. Fuji Cater. Hola, nice to see you streaming. Thank you for joining. Alan Huntley says, great news. Personally, it doesn't need to be polished for me. B-roll is fine as long as the audio is understandable. Looking forward to the 11x14 video. Yeah, the audio on these B-roll images is either going to be non-existing or just music, or very low. It's going to be more me commenting what I did, how I do it, how I work around it. 11x14 is a bit of a pain to shoot. It's become basically the format that I think is maybe one too big. I think 8x10 is really the sweet spot for large format. The contact prints are amazing, size-wise and everything. Film is easy to find. Film holders are easy to find. Lenses are easy to find. Camera can still fit in a backpack and a couple of holders and you can shoot. So that's going to be a complicated video to make in the sense that I love it. The 11x14, I don't know if I'll ever sell it because I will never buy it again. But it's becoming a bit of a, like a weight on my back of owning it and not using it. And the biggest problem is film, like buying the film. And it's available in the US. B&H has it in 11x14 stock. Ilford sells it in the once a year thing. So I want to have more time with it, but is just so expensive. It's so annoying to move. I have a Pelican case you can't see down here that is just to move the 11x14 and the holders everywhere, but doesn't have wheels. So I have to lift it up with a helper and move it somewhere. And you'll see that on the video. You'll see the moving the camera around, the setting up the camera, everything is a pain. But then you see the negatives, and even developing is so complicated. But then you see the negatives and you see the contact prints, and it blows your mind. So I do want to make some content on that, newer, apart from the older one. Fuji Cater says 8x10 is the best because you can make nice and satisfying contact prints with it. Yeah, I've been really happy with 8x10. I have to say, it's simple. I have a CNR P2 that you can't see out of frame there. I have a Chamonix 4.5 f1 over there, and I'm sorry, Marco. And Chamonix 8x10 that's behind here in the bag. I don't know if you guys want to see it, I'll pull it out, but it's probably so pixeled it's going to look like a 4x5. And then the 11x14, which up there. And then I have a couple other 4x5s that people have either left here for me to teach workshops and stuff like that. But yeah, very, very fun formats, very different formats. 4x5 is amazing. I recommend everyone that starts with 4x5 to consider staying at 4x5. But 8x10 is also awesome. Marco says, but the 120 scan helper is finished and I can send you one. Marco, I'll be happy to test it out. I'm going on holidays, so maybe after my holidays, you can send it out. And I'm going to be talking about that on the news this week. And that is, I've been asked not to work during my holidays, these holidays. So I'm going to not do the news in Miami, probably. I hope you guys understand that. It's going to be only one news I'm going to miss. Someone was saying if my suit was in the washing. It's not really in the washing. It was just really hot the other day, and I didn't want to put it on. But I made that story. Just thought it was fun. But I maybe won't do any videos while I'm in Miami. I did want to do an interview while I was there. There's someone there that I did not know was there in the industry. But I've been asked by family not to work. So hopefully I'll respect that, and I won't work while I'm on holidays. So I hope you guys understand. I might do a live stream just for the fun of it, if I can get a proper connection, because I never get one while I'm there. But yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I had no news. There'll be news this week. There won't be news next week. This week, next week, no news. So yeah, but I'm very excited to show all this new stuff. I've been working. The support on Patreon has been mind-blowing. I have to thank everyone that is there. I never expected so much support. Not that I don't think I have support from you guys. I do see the views. I do see the likes and the comments and all these things, which are amazing. But seeing so many people back the Patreon and back what I do on such a quirky and funky channel, because I know I'm not making other content that other people are doing that's very popular. I'm trying to do what I think is most interesting to me, and hopefully you guys understand it and like it too. So it's very, very flattering to know that people have been backing. So I'd be hopefully giving more there. And that's what I want to do, maybe a couple interviews or so that are going to be landing on the Patreon for people there. Alan says, I love 4x5 too, but I think something happens to my brain while viewing my image on that 8x10 ground glass at the final print size. 8x10 has been my primary format for nearly 30 years. Oh, first of all, Alan, that's almost as old as I am. I'm a little younger than that. No, I'm joking. But I have a thing with 4x5, and my biggest problem, and it might sound ridiculous, is the ground glass is too small. And for this, I don't know if I have a loop. I don't have a loop. I'm going to fake like this is the proper loop. It's the box for the loop. This loop is awesome. It's like $10 and it works fine. When you're on a 4x5 ground glass, and you don't know if you guys, it's 2 pixel or whatnot. Margot says gearhead. I am a gearhead. When you're on a 4x5 ground glass and you're trying to focus on an image like this, I'm going to flip it around so you guys see the thing. If you're doing architecture like I love to do, if you go to a corner, you hit the corner so fast. So like you're building, you'll keep on hitting the corners everywhere. And it's so annoying. Same when you're doing a portrait, you hit the corner, like there's no physical space for the loop. Like it really is pretty small. I mean, you can fit like 2 loops in the ground glass, like 2.5. And vertical, you can fit maybe 3. And that becomes really annoying. When you're shooting 8x10, you have that big real estate and you have so much more space to look and put your head back and analyze the ground glass and see what you want and focus on the movements. The bigger the camera is, the easier it is to see the movements. When you use the 11x14, like you move it a little bit and you see it so well. On a 4x5, you move it a little tiny bit and you're like, what happened? Where's the focus? Where did it go? You know, where's my shame flung? It's going sideways. Like it's so small. And I know it's large format, don't get me wrong. I do know it's much bigger than medium format. It's much, much bigger than 35. But once you're in that size, having a bigger ground glass just helps so much. And I want to make a video and show you guys like what the difference is, because 1 degree on 4x5 is a little tiny bit, but 1 degree on 8x10 is a bit bigger because, you know, you have a longer line to move. Film Love Photography. Hi, Nicholas. Nice to see you live again. Film Love Photography is doing a giveaway on Instagram. You guys should go check it out. He's got a great Instagram account there. So yeah, nice to see you here. If you send me the script, I could record the video for you. What video, Marco? I have so many scripts I can do. I don't script my videos. If you guys ever think I'm making a mess, I'm never script any videos. It's all in there, usually 1 take. Fuji Cater, I do agree. I've just entered the amazing world of 8x10 and after 10 years dedicated to practice with 4x5 and 5x7. The only inconvenience is the price of the holders first and of the lens I had to buy to cover my needs in this format. The good thing is that I can afford a bow of Portra 8x10 from times to times in 5x7. Yeah, the formats is so much nicer. The problem is the lenses and so much so on. For example, sorry guys. Like I love architecture, okay? I'm gonna put this in front of my head. I love architecture. This is what is considered a wide lens for 8x10. As you can see, it's almost the size of my head. Okay, let me put it on the white background. This is almost the size of my head. This is a 165 millimeter Super Angulon f8 lens. So it's humongous and it's heavy and it's slower because it uses a Copo 3. This is a Comper 3 shutter, which is the older ones, or a different brand basically. And if this falls on your foot, you're gonna kill your foot and probably not gonna kill the lens. This one's been dropped before. This is bumped here. I brought this from a Finnish friend. I bought it years ago, Henry. If you ever watch this, regards to you. But that's wide. If you're shooting 4x5, a 90 mil or a 65 mil is wide, and it's half the size of that. I don't even know I have a 90 around here. Probably. This is a 90. 90 on 4x5, 165 on 8x10. Sorry, I got my dog here. Come here. So yeah, that's the problem. Alan Huntley says, so true. I love these big cameras, but carrying them into the field is getting harder and harder for the senior. If you've been shooting 8x10 for 30 years, that's impressive. I don't know if I'll be shooting 8x10 in 30 years. I'll probably be shooting half frame, which I've been enjoying a lot. This is what I was telling you guys. I've been shooting a lot of half frame, and it's so much fun. You can't see the size, but these little negs, you get 72. It's so much. It's so different. I love it. Plus, I print very small when I print 35, so that's what I did. Yeah, if you guys ever curious about seeing, I don't like making those videos of what's in my bag, and I'm sorry, Marco, I know you're watching this and you want to do a series on what's in my bag, but I don't honestly like seeing those videos from people because I don't really mind what's in people's bags. But if you ever guys want to see what kind of 8x10 lenses I own or 4x5 lenses I own or such, you guys can let me know, and I'll show you, because I do have a lot of lenses. I've been buying a lot of lenses throughout my life. And let me cover this negative so I can show you guys no problem. Marco says the news cause you want to skip them. Yeah, Marco, if you want to do the script, you can record the news for me. That'd be fun. I might not even take a computer to do the script for the news, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, if you guys ever want to see what kind of gear I use or whatnot, let me know. Maybe I'll make a private video or whatever, because I'm not so keen on showing that collection or whatever of lenses. But if you want to shoot architecture and stuff on 8x10, the lenses start getting really big or really expensive and rare. There's a 210 Computar and a 210. Yeah, the Computar is the one, or there's another one that I can't remember right now, that are really rare and expensive usually. Alan Huntley says, yep, the 165 f8 super angular beast, just like my Schneider 360 6.8. Yeah, I have the, well, give me a sec. I have the Nikon 360 f6.5, and that thing is also massive. I think it can swallow the 90 just with the front element. Like, that's just how big it is. Don't judge it by the size of the, you know, lens board, because it's on an adapter. But yeah, they're big. The front element is the size of a small dinner plate. Not so bad using 8x10 as a senior with the Intrepid and Fuji A series lens. Yeah, those Fuji A series lenses are awesome. I have the one, I don't think I have the 180. I have the 240 A series. And I know there's the 180, which is also very nice. And then you have the 450, which I don't know if it's the A, but it's really small. It's the 12.5 aperture. Fuji Cater says, I use P2 CNR 8x10. I carry it around. Weight is not much a bother when you shoot large format when you have a car nearby. I've taken the 8x10 CNR P2 in the field, and that's humongous. Mark H, what's that on the back? I was talking about it. That's a Frontier scanner. I put the Ilford magnets on it, which is funny. It says I have an enlarger and know how to use it, and it's on the scanner. But that's a Fuji Frontier SP 2500, which has been in my studio for a week and a half. Alan Huntley says I have the 240 for 240A and the super rare 360A. Yeah, the other day someone offered me the 600A, which is really, really rare, which I wish I could get, but it's way out of my budget by like 100 times my budget. Good thing I'm using a field camera, not the craziest movement, but that suits me well. Mark says, whoa, man, would love a Frontier myself. Mark, if you ever want to come and try it out, I've always said, anyone that wants to come to my studio in Spain, and I look like a hip hop guy. If someone wants to come to my studio in Spain and try anything that I own, they're more than welcome. And everyone that's come already knows that there's no problem on shooting Polaroid, black and white, color, large format, scanner, slides, whatever it is you guys want to try it out. I'm more than happy. I love meeting people and shooting stuff. And I have way too much stuff and not enough time to shoot. So it's a great excuse. And we can scan it, we can print it, we can everything. Plus there's a great restaurant down the road that we just had lunch today. Today we scanned and developed, we developed 2 rolls of 120 film for a friend. We developed 6 rolls of 120 color negative, and we scanned it all already on the Frontier. So always welcome. Let me see. Film love photography. You are awesome. Funny thing, in large format, the big focal length, the smaller lenses are. It's weird in large format. Marco says, don't worry, just make them fun for fun. Hey, Marco, see you. Alan Huntley, got to run. The wife is calling me for lunch. Thanks for the live show. Alan, nice for seeing you here. And we'll see each other soon. I will probably be dropping out of here too. I don't know how long I've been live. Does anyone have like a timer? It doesn't say how long I've been live. Okay, that's fun. Yeah, I'm gonna be live for a couple more minutes, guys, and then I gotta go do some stuff too. It's 8:47 over here. Luke's photo video. Hi, UK. Hi, nice to see you, Luke's. But yeah, just that. Just want to give you guys a quick update for those who see this after it's live. I'm gonna keep it live. I'm gonna keep it there. You can watch all the updates, all the news, all the things that are coming. I know I've been keeping it very much to the news only for the last couple weeks, probably almost a month, maybe month and a half or so. But there's a lot in the works. There's a new chemical series or chemical video series or whatever. I don't know how to phrase it right now. that is coming too. And all those things are coming down the road. I'm even considering trying to find someone externally to edit the videos, because I have a lot of work in my head that I can't record, develop, scan, edit, upload, and all that. So I'm considering it. Hopefully, the more support I get from you guys, the more stuff I'm able to do. And I want to thank, I said, Patreon, all these people. Like, this paper is thanks to those people. And this scanner, which I got mostly for YouTube stuff, is also thanks to Patreon. So I'm very, very grateful. The support is awesome. All these things that I'm able to do now is thanks to you guys. And I know you guys do it because what I do, but you know what I mean. Thank you for all of that. How says, according to the timestamp in the chat, which I can't see, 45 minutes so far. So yeah, we're going to keep it till 10 more minutes or so, and then we'll each other go to do their Sunday chores. But yeah, any other things, requests, guys, I'm more than happy to explain and show. It's funny because now that I've been scanning and the colors look good, I've been shooting a lot more color, which is something I've been not doing. One of my partners in the studio, because we have the darkroom on the top here, just on top of me, is going to be helping me do some RA4 content, which I've been saying forever. But we finally found a couple of negatives that we like, so we're going to be making some of that very soon too. So if you guys are curious for that, just keep on bugging me so I push it up the list. But yeah, that's basically all the updates and all the crazy things that are happening. I do know that I don't show a lot of behind the scenes on social media and stuff like that, because I'd rather keep things to myself till I have it, all ready to show. But I love doing these live streams, so I wanted to share with you guys. I was too excited. Mark says, I send my stuff usually to Carmencita, but it gets pricey if I shoot a lot. Yeah, I mean, labs are not cheap. I have to say, as I said before, I was at Carmencita doing, helping Jordan from Cameraville do the little documentary, and I recommend you watching it. It's pretty cool. But the work that they do at Carmencita is impressive. Like, I just thought, just put the roll in the developing machine, and then develops, and then just putting it out and scan it. But then all the work they do after they scan, like they do, the little retouching for you and the color just like you like it, and giving consistency to all the roll. It was really impressive. I've used other labs before that just kind of like whatever you shot. Let me get an actual roll of film. Whatever you shot, they'll just put in the machine, scan it, whatever, no special anything, send it to you. But Carmencita does do a lot of work, so it's worth it. If you do send more, Mark, say, you can put in the notes, big fan of Nico, because they're going to start supporting some of what I do. And it would be awesome for them to see that people that watch this also send their film there. Not thanks to me, but you know what I mean. Just to know. Fuji says, can you make a test video about better scanning device? There's a lot of people working on Epson V700 without focusing device and bad film holder, so this might help. I do have a Epson V700, 750. I don't know which model. I don't own the better scanning, but I think I have a friend that does have it, so I can ask them and make me make a video. I'm terrible at scanning, and thanks to that, I'm not so terrible. But I can try to make that. I'll keep it in mind. See if I can help you guys with that. But yeah, the whole point of the Naya says he's got the better scanning one. And he says he has good results on 35 because he said it before. So if it works for 35, it has to be good. My biggest problem with the Epson was the 35, because if the film was curved by any chance, it was horrible. And for that, the little negative film supply kind of keeps it really flat. And that you'll see in my review. And then I got to send this to someone else, which is going to be sad. But he uses it with the V850. Yeah, the V850, V750 are pretty much the same scanner, different lamp. So I know there's more to it, but it's basically the same thing. So for those wanting to buy a V850, you can buy the V750 and it'll do pretty good. It does get dusty inside, and I did the video cleaning my scanner. It's already dirty inside, and it's not a dusty environment, so I don't know what's going on. But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to call it a day. Thanks for joining the live stream. Sorry for the non-announcement. Thank you for everyone that's joined and commented and left, up votes or down votes, whatever you guys feel like doing. But yeah, I will be back in the news this Tuesday. I will be going on holidays after that. And I'll be back soon doing videos in the studio and showing you more about this, maybe doing a little first impressions on the Frontier scanner and my workflow with it. I had to drive 16 hours to pick it up, so that was crazy. But yeah, thanks guys. Thanks so much. Thanks for all the support as always. And if you have any questions, remember, I read all the comments. I try to answer all of them, but I read all the comments, that's for sure. So you can leave a comment asking whatever you want. And if not, remember, you go to www.superfilmsupport.com, and I try to answer through a video specifically for your question, whatever it could be. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you very soon. Let me see if I can find how to log out of this because I never remember. Ugh. But yeah, guys, thank you so much, and see you soon. Bye.